subtle. It's getting it's getting more subversive, very subtle, but it's there and it's strong. And until that's gone, and you realize that you live in a country that is of, by, and for the people, all people, and you treat them all equally, you're going to have the race card played. I mean, prepare to have your ass glued to the seat of that poker game to watch that card played over and over and over in your lifetime and beyond until we get racism under control in this country. Pisses me off. I give up. I give black people a license in my mind. Do what you got to do, black people. I know you're tired of it. I can imagine. I can use my imagination. I'm white. I know I haven't dealt with what you've dealt with. I get that. But I'm watching it over and over. And I know we have a higher exposure level now with portable video devices and audio devices. I get that. But you know what? This isn't a sudden onslaught of racist behavior from police to minorities. This is a sudden onslaught of exposure of typical behavior from police to minorities. It's got to stop. We have to expect our law enforcement officials to adhere to a higher standard than the criminals we're asking them to arrest. Just saw a video last night of fucking cops throwing rocks back at protesters. Honestly, is there no higher standard? As far as I'm concerned, whatever you're going to arrest them for throwing that rock, you now have to be arrested for because you just did the same thing. I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. I don't blame black people for anything they do at this point. Does it make sense for them to beat in, store windows and loot shit? Does that sound like fighting for civil rights? No, it doesn't. But it also represents being fed up. Because I think once you get fed up enough, you don't give a fuck. You're trying to hurt everything around you. You'll do whatever you have to do to make noise. And you know there's going to be some selfish blacks in there. I don't really care about civil rights. I'm just getting my TV. I get that. But at what point do you expect a black person who's going through this bullshit every fucking day and getting pulled over all the time for no reason to say, I better be careful about how I protest. I have to do it just so, just perfectly. Stay within the perfect code of civil disobedience. I don't blame them. I just don't blame them. I hope they do erupt because something's got to give. How about white police officers stop shooting and killing goddamn unarmed black people? Can we get that? Rodney King didn't make a difference. Trayvon Martin didn't make a fucking difference. Nothing's making a difference. It just keeps going and going and going. And I'm going to set aside the Missouri case here because I believe that the Justice Report found that officer was, in the right to shoot, what's his name? I don't care. That's fine. Police are going to shoot people that charge them. Do it, white or black. But that's not what's happening all around the country. And what someone like a Fox News will do is try to say, see, he didn't have his hands up, therefore no racism in America. Are we sensing a context problem here, folks? Just like Jon Stewart said, he only has to be wrong once. And Fox News only has to be right once for him to be totally discredited. Yeah, it's that kind of deal. You're going to believe who you want to believe, but I encourage you to expand your mind and seek the truth at all times, even that truth that is uncomfortable. If you're racist in your heart, don't deny it. Accept it and try to change what's in your heart if you want to be fair. If you want to be racist, learn to justify it. Justify it. Show me why racism is good. I have seen no good evidence that racism is a smart or good thing on either side. I'll get in the chat in a minute. I had to get some shit off my chest. Oh, you know what? I think I have a little song here if I can find it. Might be just about perfect for right now. Here we go. Let's listen to this real quick.
closed societies, view of humanity, a place where I can come to know myself by looking in your eyes, beyond the color lines. This is my place.
Imagine a world without the separation and no disintegration. How would it be? Oh.
No pain, no hate, no drama, nothing but compassion, love, equality, justice spread throughout the world, touching every boy and girl. Every boy and girl,
I see face, a reflection of our commonality and our divinity, a face that on the surface may not look like you. But in reality, we are the same.
Imagine a world without the separation, no disintegration. What would it be?
No hate, no drama, nothing but compassion, love, equality, justice spread throughout the world.
Every boy, every girl.
No race, creed, no color, nothing in between. One another, unity throughout the world, touching every boy and girl. We need a
Conquer all the hate and fear that built these walls that separate us day by day. Love's the only way. Oh, take my hand and walk with me, and I'll show you my reality. It's not the way it's supposed to be for you and me.
Listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kierstead.
And you heard it there. That was Layla Change, a song to eliminate racism. My friends, songs will not eliminate racism. Stabby is of the school of thought, I believe similar to that of Mr. Solutions, that we can go into the DNA and we can get into the human genome and say that blacks are 99.3% like whites or whatever, which is fine. I get that. But that's not how people behave based on that information. I mean, frankly, I think a lot of police officers would treat a fucking seal, the kind that orcas eat, better than your average black person. Because there is this common belief that if they're black, they must have done something wrong. As long as that belief persists, then we have a problem. We have a problem. I don't know what the answer is. I just don't know. I think it's going to end in a civil war. I've talked about this on and off for 10 years or so, but I didn't really believe it would come to fruition. But I can see an uprising with minorities against whites. And that's not necessary. It's something we should so be able to avoid. But I don't think we're going to be able to. Maybe I'm caught up in this a little bit because of these recent episodes and the way the media has strung them together. I'll admit that has affected me. But what it has also done is exposed to me something that I wish wasn't there. I don't want it to be there. I don't like it. And I'm telling you, I've known cops. And I'm telling you that I've known cops before they were cops. And I'm telling you that some of them are fucking deep down racist. And some of them are absolute sadists. And it's ridiculous to me. And I had a discussion with one in an offhanded way recently. And it's all, this bothers me. Every time a black person does something bad, there are some black people that defend the black person no matter what. Every time a cop does something bad, there are cops that defend him no matter what. How about earning good judgment? Why do cops protect all cops? Why do some black people protect all black people? Something that's missing from white people, admittedly, it's a sense of unity. We don't have it. We're actually rather selfish when it comes to that sense of you're part of the family, fellow white person. Have you noticed that? Perhaps it's because we never needed it. We were in the majority. Maybe blacks did need it because they're like a group of cornered gazelles in a prairie that's loaded with lions. Maybe that is a social evolution in America that has come from being freed from slavery and then being heavily oppressed up until the civil rights movement, and then from there to now being at least moderately oppressed in more subtle ways as laws have come up to protect minorities. Ask the American Indian. Let's forget about blacks for a second. How do you think the American Indian feels right about now? We're going to give you a piece of shitty land in a shitty place. We'll give you all the alcohol you can drink in a couple casinos. Now leave us the fuck alone. We took your land. I don't know. I'm not going to make any friends with this show, and yet my heart is screaming about the injustice. It's got to stop. It just has to stop. Now, Obama has said that those that are out there looting and rioting and shit need to be treated like criminals, and I agree. If you're engaging in criminal behavior, you need to be treated like a criminal. But the cops that are engaging in criminal behavior need to also be treated like criminals. And all we get is what? A suspension? An investigation done internally? That's like telling the fox in a hen house, hey, we heard you might harm the chickens. Could you do an investigation on that for us? Yeah, I'll write a report up. Now, I am no risk at all to these chickens. Yep, done the report. Come on now. All police in America need to be required by federal law right about now to wear body cameras. They are cheap, with audio recording, and have that audio and video monitored by a third-party institution who cannot be bought off by a cop, a criminal, or a lawyer. And that video and audio needs to be, after released from, if it's going to be used in a trial, that can be secured until the trial's over. I get that. But after that, it needs to be released for public consumption. Because I think that a public servant should be under public scrutiny while on duty. His right to privacy returns the moment he clocks out. That's what I think. Now, the privacy concerns are also coming from individuals because these cops wearing body cameras and audio, devices, they're saying, well, if they're going to come to my house, I'm not going to call them because I don't want to be on film. I don't want my shit on the internet. I don't want my house on the internet. So this cuts both ways, but you can't have it both ways. And I'm telling you, this country is going to be a better country if we require law enforcement to wear cameras. It will protect the officers from lies about police abuse, which happen routinely. And it will protect the people being arrested and the suspects from what. You've seen nothing but this in the media lately. I'm not so sure the media, everybody has this divided view of the media. It's either the lame